Ladies and gentlemen, we are just 2 nights away until the biggest AEW pay-per-view of 2020. This is a really good card for Saturday night. The build has been pretty good since past Double or Nothing, and now we are finally here. We are at All Out. This is the first pay-per-view with live fans back in the arena, and you know what, man? I could not be any more excited for this pay-per-view on Saturday, and I could not be any more excited to bring you guys the preview and predictions here on the Big Fight Field channel. So, this is Joseph Conlon coming to you with your AEW All Out 2020 preview and predictions. Like I said, I could not be any more excited to film this preview predictions video for All Out. So much so that once I was done my dinner, I threw on this AEW shirt and I literally ran to this room so that I could start filming. I literally ran to the room so I could start filming. And I'm pretty excited, man. I'm pretty excited. My adrenaline is flowing. When I get excited, I feel much positive. I feel like very positive. I had a good day yesterday. I had a good day today. And when I wake up on Saturday, it's just going to feel like Christmas morning. It really is. And I love that feeling. I got that feeling with Double or Nothing. I got that feeling with Revolution. And I know I'm going to get that feeling for All Out. I'm just going to get the adrenaline flowing. I'm going to wake up on Saturday. I'm going to be like, boy, today's the day. Today is the day for AEW All Out. I'm really excited. We got 9 matches to go over here on the video today. So buckle up your seatbelts, get yourself a drink, get yourself your dessert. It's going to be a good one. This is your AEW All Out 2020 preview and predictions. We're going to start things out with the buy-in pre-show match, which is a tooth and nail match between Dr. Britt Baker and Big Swole. This is Britt Baker's first physical match since having her knee injury back in May. And Tony Khan said it on the AEW All Out conference call today, which I'm actually going to talk about tomorrow in a news video, along with NXT possibly going to Tuesdays. So tomorrow, I might as well say it now, tomorrow is going to be a double upload. Tomorrow will be news video around 11 a.m., 10 a.m., and then you got the SmackDown review tomorrow night on the channel. I'll talk about that more tomorrow on the news video, so stay tuned for that. But Britt Baker and Big Swole is on the buy-in pre-show. And people are pretty upset that it's on the pre-show. And, you know, I can't really blame them. This is a feud that's been going on since really after Double or Nothing. Big Swole has been going after Britt Baker. Britt Baker has been going after Big Swole. Swole has been having matches with Reba. I think her name, Reba. Yeah, Reba. She's been having matches with Reba. Then they had the handicap match, which was awful. That should have been on Dark. And now we got this tooth and nail match. And what Tony Khan said on the conference call is that it's going to be a cinematic match. And it's going to be basically a falls count anywhere. They're going to be brawling all over Britt Baker's dentist office. And the only way you can win is by pinfall or submission. So I'm guessing this match is going to be pre-taped. I don't think this match is going to be live. So more than likely, they're going to pre-tape this match probably at Britt Baker's dentist office. And just because of the name Tooth and Nail, and they're fighting at a dentist office, I think this one's going to Britt Baker. And it should go to Britt Baker. She's making a big comeback return. She's more than likely going to be built up to be challenging for the AEW Women's Championship against Shida probably at the next pay-per-view. And she will probably more likely take the Women's Championship off of Shida at the next pay-per-view. But right here, Britt Baker, Big Swole, I can't see Big Swole winning this. I think she'll put up a good fight. I think the match is going to be good. I'm looking forward to it. But at the end of the day, I'm going with Britt Baker for the victory for the buy-in pre-show and the tooth and nail match. So I'm going with Britt Baker here. The first match that I think is going to start out the main card is going to be a tag team match between the Young Bucks and the Jurassic Express, which was made this past Wednesday on Dynamite, and people were complaining, why is this not on the pre-show? This has 1 week of build. This is bullshit. I actually think this is going to be better on the main card. This should not be on the pre-show, because more than likely we don't even end up talking about pre-show matches. If anything, the Casino Battle Royale should be on the pre-show and not Britt Baker, Big Swole, and just have both of those matches on the main card. Because the Casino Battle Royal, the first one, was on the pre-show. That was at the first Double or Nothing. That was at AEW's first ever pay-per-view. But Jurassic Express versus Young Bucks, I think is going to open up the show. I think that's a strong opener. This is going to be a really good tag team match. These are two teams that know each other really well. The two of the most popular tag teams in AEW. And I think this is a big match for the Jurassic Express. Not much the Young Bucks, but I think this is a big opportunity for the Jurassic Express to get back on top, to get to where they were last year. Because at last year's All Out, Luchasaurus was the most over man in that building. You were getting chills from hearing the chants of Luchasaurus last year at All Out, which was absolutely insane. He was one of the most over guys last year, and I feel like ever since then, they've dipped down the tag team division, and now they got to build themselves back up. And the match with the Young Bucks here, it's a big deal for Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. Now, Tony Khan has said this match that this is basically two of the top tag teams in AEW going at it, and they're both in the top 5, so whoever loses is more than likely going to be getting kicked out of the top 5. And a lot of people are picking the Young Bucks. I'm going different here. I'm picking the Jurassic Express. I think a win over the Young Bucks to start the show off on the main card, this could be big for the Jurassic Express. And it could put them up in contention for tag team titles maybe later down the line, even though they just had a tag team title match. And even if the Young Bucks lose, we know they're still going to get their tag team title match in the future, which we'll get to them later. And this won't be the last we see the Young Bucks. So them losing will play a part into the tag team title match, which we'll get to later. But for this match, I'm going with Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus to get the win. I think this could be a big, big victory for the Jurassic Express. So I'm going to be picking them over the Young Bucks. In a broken rules match. That'd be the way Matt Hardy would say it. A broken rules match. We got Matt Hardy versus Sammy Guevara. We don't know which version of Matt Hardy it's going to be. Is it going to be version 1 Matt Hardy? Is it going to be Damascus, broken Matt Hardy? Is it going to be version 2? Is it going to be Extreme Matt? Is it going to be Unkillable Matt? Is it going to be Big Money Matt? My money is on Broken Matt, because this is a broken rules match. And we're not gonna see Matt Hardy not be broken in this broken rules match. It just wouldn't really make sense in my opinion. So more than likely, we're gonna get the broken rules match, and this is actually one of the matches that I'm very, I'm giving a lot of high praise to this match. This build to this match has been awesome. It's been awesome. The brawls have been really good. The one time where Sammy threw a chair at Matt Hardy's head and then gave him a 450 through the table, that was great. That visual of Sammy throwing the chair at Matt Hardy's head, even though that wasn't even supposed to happen, and now with that happening, this actually makes the story better. Both of them were out for each other's blood. They want to literally beat the shit out of each other. And that's what I love about this feud. That's what I love about this feud so much. They're so sick of each other. They want to beat the shit out of each other. They don't want to see each other. And it's gone so far that Sammy Guevara says he doesn't want to see Matt Hardy anymore in AEW after this match. And then Matt Hardy put his career on the line. If Matt Hardy loses this match, he is done with AEW. And quite frankly, just with that stipulation alone, it kind of gives away the result of the match, because I don't see Matt Hardy leaving anytime soon. Matt Hardy got here in AEW in March 18th, 2020. The first pandemic episode of AEW Dynamite. Matt Hardy ain't going anywhere. He's still going to be with Private Party. He's going to end this feud with Sammy Guevara. There's going to be a crazy spot, I can imagine. Matt Hardy was on the roof of Daly's place, so maybe they go back up there, and maybe Matt Hardy throws Sammy Guevara off the top of that roof through 2 tables. That would be freaking insane. And then they did explain the rules, like I mentioned. It's under last man standing rules. So really, this is a last man standing match, unless Matt Hardy's calling it a broken rules match. It's the same thing as a last man standing match. And the other stipulation is if Matt Hardy loses, he leaves AEW. I don't think Matt Hardy's leaving AEW anytime soon. He just got here. He's going to be around for a very long time. He's going to be sticking around with Private Party and helping them out to develop in the tag team division, be their advisor or coach, whatever. And Matt Hardy gets this win over Sammy Guevara. I'm going with Matt Hardy. I'm really looking forward to this match. It's probably in the top 4 of matches that I'm really looking forward to. I think this is going to be brutal. It's going to be very physical. They're going to beat the shit out of each other in this match. I'm going with broken Matt Hardy. Next, we have a casino battle royale where the winner receives a shot at the AEW World Championship. This is the match that I said I thought should have been on the buy-in, but I mean, this is going to be on the main show, so I think something major is going to be happening here. We got Darby Allin, Ricky Starks, Brian Cage, Lance Archer, Eddie Kingston, Pentagon Jr., Ray Phoenix, The Butcher and the Blade, Shawn Spears, Jake Hager, Santana and Ortiz, The Best Friends, Chuck Taylor and Trent, Austin Gunn, and Billy Gunn. I think I got everybody in there, right? Everybody that was involved in the brawl last night, I think I got everybody in there. So I think there's like 4 or 5 empty spots. I'm not sure, counting on how many competitors are in this battle royal, but this is a very hard one to predict because we don't know the order yet. They did say that it'll be drawn 5 at a time, and I think they said there's a Joker card. I don't know. I think it's going to be like last year's battle royal. That's my mindset. It's going to be exactly like last year's Double or Nothing battle royal, but picking a result for this one's been very hard. I don't think Darby Allin or Ricky Starks are going to win. I think they're going to take out each other. I think Brian Cage and Lance Archer are going to take out each other, which makes me, and then the other guys that I said really don't have a good chance of winning this match. So it's going to be somebody from Eddie Kingston's group. And I think the winner of the Battle Royal is going to be Eddie Kingston. 2 weeks ago, on the Saturday edition of Dynamite, the Dynamite that was going up against NXT TakeOver 30, we had Eddie Kingston talk to the Lucha Bros, the Butcher and the Blade, saying like they're family. They've been all over the world with each other. This is family. Then he called in for a hug. Then he gave a wink at the camera. He winked. And that could play factor into what happens in this match. Could Eddie Kingston eliminate somebody else in his alliance just to get himself a match for the AEW World Championship? It could very well be. I could very well see Eddie Kingston tossing out a Pentagon Jr. or a Rey Fenix or the Butcher to get himself a world title match and to play possum with the Lucha Bros, the Butcher, and the Blade. And then this makes Eddie Kingston look like a dick heel. And then he goes on to challenge for the AEW World title. If it's on a pay-per-view or not, he gets the shot at the World Championship. So that's who I'm going with here. I'm going with Eddie Kingston to win the Casino Battle Royal and become the #1 contender for the AEW World title. Starting with this match here. The next 5 matches I'm about to talk about, I feel like have been great builds up to this pay-per-view. But the first match I think I want to talk about is the Tag Team Championship match between FTR versus Kenny Omega and Adam Hangman Page. This is the match everybody is looking forward to the most. This match right here. Tony Khan even said on the conference call, which I'll talk about tomorrow, that FTR has a good chance of getting up to the bar where the Bucks versus Omega and Page were at Revolution. They have a very, very good chance, said Tony Khan. So that right there makes me believe that this match is going to be fantastic. And I can't wait for this match on Saturday night. Now, I think this is going to be the match of the night. I think this is going to be... I'm probably in the same boat with a lot of people, but this is probably going to be the best match of the night right here. These are the 2 best tag teams in the world right now. And Omega and Page, who have been doing a phenomenal job as the tag team champions in AEW. And you got FTR, who is arguably the best tag team in the world right now to date. The outcome is very predictable. It's going to be who turns. It's going to be what happens after the match. I think we all know that Omega and Page have had their time with the tag team titles. They have had those titles for 7 months. They have had great defenses. They have not had a bad match with the tag team titles. They defended it against SCU, the Lucha Bros, the Young Bucks, Jimmy Havoc, who's no longer in AEW, and Kip Sabian, the Natural Nightmares, the Best Friends, Private Party, Jurassic Express, the Dark Order. 9 defenses, and all 9 of these matches were really good tag team matches. They have had the best reign for any title in AEW and in 2020, in my opinion. They've had the best reign with any title in pro wrestling this year. But their time is up with the tag team titles. It's time to get those titles off of them and put it on a new holder in FTR. I think we all know that. But the thing is, what's going to happen after the match? Is there not going to be a turn and we got to wait to see who turns. Is Adam Hangman Page going to turn heel and join FTR and be like, screw the Elite, screw Omega, screw the Bucks, and just beat the shit out of Omega, turn heel, and be on the side of FTR and Tully Blanchard? Or is Kenny Omega gonna snap? He's gonna be the one who attacks Hangman Page. And he's not necessarily gonna join FTR. He's just gonna snap on Hangman Page. He's gonna be like, you know what? I've had enough. I've had enough of your shenanigans and your business. I pretended I was your friend, but really, I hated you the entire time. I was on this for my own. Could we see something like that? And could we see the Bucks turn heel with Kenny Omega? I think it's possible. It could happen as well. Or they could do a story where Omega turns on Hangman, and Hangman is like, doesn't have any friends. And the Bucks try to knock some sense in Omega. Omega takes out the Bucks. Omega is in this by himself. And then they do a storyline where, you know, the Bucks, they messed up pretty bad by kicking Hangman Page out of the Elite. Now, they're without friends. Hangman Page is without a friend. And they thought the whole time that Adam Hangman Page was the one who had the crazed mind. But during the time, it wasn't Hangman Page. It was Kenny Omega. Hangman Page, they thought Hangman Page had a crazed mind because he was being manipulated by FTR. That's really the story here. Hangman Page, that's really the story leading into this match. Hangman Page was manipulated by FTR. He was used by FTR. He was all buddy with FTR. Let's have a drink at the bar. Let's have a Jack Daniels together. Let's drink. He was even there when FTR signed the contracts to AEW. He was there. And they used and they continued to use Adam Hangman Page. And they manipulated him so much that he went out there and he costed the Young Bucks that gauntlet match to get the titles, to get the tag team title rematch from Revolution at All Out. And then he was manipulated, and then FTR has this match, and FTR wins the titles by pinning Kenny Omega, and then Omega snaps at All Out. That could be a great story. Wherever any of this stuff goes, I think it's going to be great. But I don't think Hangman Page should turn heel. I don't think he should turn heel. If he turns heel, fans are still going to cheer for him. The fans, when we get back to full crowds, fans are still going to be chanting cowboy shit. And Hangman Page, he is not going to get booed. His character is not getting booed, I'm telling you right now. Kenny Omega has a good chance of getting heel heat, of getting hate, and he won't be getting cheered when he eventually goes one-on-one with Adam Hangman Page. So, Omega is going to be the one who turns on Hangman Page, and they're going to lose the tag team titles to FTR. I think this is going to be the best match of the night. A tag team classic in the waiting, and FTR are going to win the tag team titles. We got an 8-man tag, which I'm actually really looking forward to. I'm loving everything with the Dark Order right now. I really am. Brody Lee as the TNT champion, the way he demolished Cody for that TNT championship has legitimized Dark Order and has made them the most dangerous stable in AEW. And now they're going up against Cody's friends, the Natural Nightmares, Dustin Rhodes and QT Marshall, Scorpio Sky, and Matt Cardona. It was reported that Cody is going to be taking a break That's why he was on an injury angle with Brody Lee. That was to write him off of television. He will be back soon, I believe, probably by the end of 2020. Maybe we get that rematch with Cody and Brody Lee at the next pay-per-view for the TNT title. But for now, this is an 8-man tag. I'm looking forward to this match a lot, trust me. I think this is going to be a really, really good match. But, I mean, behind FTR, and actually, you know what? Scrap that. This is probably the most predictable match on the entire card. Dark Order has no reason to lose this match. Dark Order have absolutely zero reason to lose this match. Brody Lee just became the TNT Championship. They are the most dominant faction in AEW right now. It's Brody, Evil Uno, Stu Grayson, and you got Colt Cabana there with them, who's playing tweener, heel babyface. People still adore Colt Cabana, but he's in Dark Order with this match here, and they have no reason to lose. Against the Natural Nightmare, Scorpio Sky, and Matt Cardona. It's going to be a clean finish. Brody Lee will probably get the pin on probably QT Marshall or someone. But this would be a good match. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be very chaotic, I think. Hopefully this isn't like past 8-man tags. And we actually get an 8-man tag like we did last night on Dynamite. So Brody Lee and the Dark Order will get the victory here against the Natural Nightmares, Scorpio Sky, and Matt Cardona. For the AEW Women's Championship, we have NWA Women's Champion Thunder Rosa versus the AEW Women's Champion Hikaru Shida. Now, the AEW Women's Championship is the only championship that is on the line. Billy Corgan and Tony Khan had an agreement that Thunder Rosa would appear at All Out to challenge Shida for the Women's Championship. Tony Khan talked about Billy Corgan on the All Out press conference call today, which I'm actually going to talk about tomorrow here on the channel. That's another story that's involved with the conference call, a possible working relationship between AEW and NWA. And possibly, I believe I'm hearing rumors that Thunder Rosa has signed to AEW. And if she signed with AEW, I mean, that's a home run signing right there. That's an excellent signing. And that is Thunder Rosa. Okay? Let me talk about Thunder Rosa for a second. I've been a fan of this woman for 3 years now. I watched her on a show called GTS Wrestling. If you guys know who Grimm's Toy Show is, that's who I'm talking about. She was on Grimm's Toy Show. And she had so much talent, and I looked at her very highly. Right then and there in 2017. She went from GTS to AEW All Out, the biggest stage of her career, against Hikaru Shida, for the Women's Championship. And she looked great last night against Serena Deeb. She looked great. That was the best match on the card. I think AEW can use somebody like Thunder Rosa in the women's division, and she will bring the legitimacy and put that women's division on the map the way it should be. She's going to put that division on the map, I hope. But this match is so important on Saturday night. You want to talk about important, high stakes? This is up there. This match, if you really think about it, this really is not about the AEW Women's Championship. That's a second thought. That's a second thought. What this match is really about is getting the AEW Women's Division on track, the way it should be. putting on matches the way AEW Women's Division should be putting on matches. This is the most important women's match in AEW history on Saturday night. This is the most important match. Thunder Rosa has to go out there and put on her A game. Shida has to go out there and put on her A game. This needs to be the best match in AEW. This needs to be the best women's match in AEW history. Along with Shida and Penelope Ford, Shida and Nyla Rose and Riho from the first Dynamite. This needs to be better than all of them. And then, hopefully they have a great match. I think this match is going to be really damn good. Give them about 15 minutes. They're going to put on a great women's match for you. And then after Saturday night, from here on out, women's matches in AEW have to be exactly like Thunder Rosa and Hikaru Shida. It needs to be great matches like that. And that's what I really hope happens. I think this match is going to be great. This is a match a lot of people are looking forward to, just for Thunder Rosa. Just for how good Thunder Rosa is and how great Shida is. And their clash of styles, I think it's going to work really well together. It's going to gel nice and sweet, like peanut butter and jelly. It just gels nicely in together. I think their styles of clash is going to come in really nicely together. And at the end of the night, I don't see Thunder Rosa winning. Because we don't know if she's officially signed to AEW yet. If she does sign, she will undoubtedly become the women's champion. No doubt. But right now, Shida needs to retain. I'm taking Shida over Thunder Rosa at All Out to retain the AEW Women's Championship. We got the Mimosa Mayhem match. Do you guys like how I said that? The Mimosa Mayhem. I can't do... Oh, what am I thinking? I'm thinking of an R roll. And there's no letter R in Mimosa Mayhem. It's just a Mimosa Mayhem match between Chris Jericho and Orange Cassidy. A lot of people are looking forward to FTR versus Kenny and Hangman the most, MJF versus Moxley, Thunder Rosa versus Shida. I'm looking forward to this match the most, man. I'm looking forward to this match the most. Chris Jericho is the creator of matches. Chris Jericho's a genius. I heard a story where Tony Khan was doing something and he got a missed call from Chris Jericho. And Jericho was like, Jericho texted him, "When you get this message, call me back. I have an idea." And then Tony Khan was like, "Your idea is Mimosa Mayhem." And Chris Jericho's like, "That's exactly right." So Tony Khan guessed Chris Jericho's idea for this match, which was the Mimosa Mayhem match against Orange Cassidy this Saturday at All Out. Now, how does this Mimosa Mayhem match work? Apparently, the only way you can win is by pinfall, submission, or you throw your opponent in a tank of mimosa, which is 500 bottles of a little bit of the bubbly and 80 gallons of orange juice. Where this big tank of mimosa is going to be, I have no idea. I have no clue where this big tank of mimosa is going to be, but I'm intrigued. Jericho created the Stadium Stampede match, which was one of the best things AEW has ever done. That is one of the best things ever in AEW's one-year history in the company. Personally, one of my favorite moments of pro wrestling in 2020 was that Stadium Stampede match. Do I think the Mimosa Mayhem is going to live up to the hype of the Stadium Stampede? I don't know. I certainly hope so. But we'll have to see how this match goes on Saturday night. And that's why I'm looking forward to this the most, because I'm really interested to see how this goes. I really am. This is going to be some interesting stuff, man. But who wins? Orange Cassidy's going to win. Chris Jericho is going to be taking a nice bath on Saturday night inside the big tank of Mimosa. It's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to the match. The feud is definitely over after this. And where does Jericho go from here? I don't know. Where does Cassidy go from here? I'm not quite sure about that either. But one of the best feuds of pro wrestling of 2020 is going to end on Saturday. I feel like everything about this feud has been a home run. It's been amazing. This has been my favorite feud outside of the Inner Circle versus Jon Moxley in early 2020. This has been my favorite feud the entire year. From the Blood Orange incident before Fyter Fest, the match at Fyter Fest, which was just freaking great. That match was great, man. If I could rewatch it, I definitely would. That match was great. And then we got Orange Cassidy pouring the orange juice on Chris Jericho. We got the debate with Eric Bischoff, which is one of the best segments of 2020 so far. We got the big rematch that they had, which was very good. And then it all leads up to this Mimosa Mayhem match. It's going to culminate. This feud will culminate Saturday at All Out in the Mimosa Mayhem. I'm certainly looking forward to this. Chris Jericho is going for a bath. Orange Cassidy is going to win. And Orange Cassidy is going to get the rub. And Orange Cassidy is going to win this feud against Chris Jericho. And finally, in what I think and should be the main event of All Out on Saturday night, we got the World Championship, the AEW World Championship. MJF versus Jon Moxley. What an excellent build to this match. Excellent. Everything has been great. Besides the comedy shit with Mark Sterling. MJF's presidential speech. Moxley attacking MJF and giving MJF the paradigm shift. Therefore, MJF having a neck injury. MJF banning the paradigm shift in the match at All Out. And then the post-match beatdown, which I barely talked about, I think, last night. I thought that was fantastic. That ending visual with MJF biting the face of John Moxley's bloodied face. That didn't make sense. MJF biting the face of Jon Moxley's bloody face. Whatever. You guys get what I mean. MJF had blood on his he had Jon Moxley's blood on his face, on his shirt, and he was holding up the AEW World Championship with Wardlow next to him. And that's a side we've never seen of MJF before. I think that's a side we needed to see of MJF. That is definitely a side that we needed to see of MJF. That's something we've never seen out of MJF before, and I'm glad we got this. Now, what does that lead to for Saturday night? I mean, shit, this is one of the most hardest predictions I've had to make all year. You can literally make a case for any guy winning this match. MJF has been super hot for a long time now. He has not lost a match in 2020. He has not lost. He's not been pinned. He's not been submitted. Do you keep the momentum of MJF and you give him the World Championship? Is he truly the future for the next 25 years in AEW? Is he going to back his words up by getting the world title on Saturday night? How about Jon Moxley? Jon Moxley's on a great reign. Maybe it might not be time for Moxley to drop the title just yet to MJF at All Out. And thinking about it at work today, I'm going to pick Moxley to retain. I'm going to pick Jon Moxley to retain. For two reasons only. Number one, MJF is going to be in this company for a very long time. They will find a way to protect MJF in defeat. They can even have him pass out and then have him say, I never tapped, or I've never been submitted, or I never tapped out, or I never been pinned, whatever. You can have that story. And you could protect MJF in a loss, or you could have Wardlow accidentally cost MJF and have MJF blame Wardlow, and you start that breakup. And then with everything happening in the Kenny Omega, Hangman Page, FTR storyline, with Kenny turning heel and getting away from Hangman Page and being the cleaner, we could revisit Kenny Omega versus Jon Moxley at Full Gear. This time, the stakes are higher. This time, Kenny's a heel and Jon Moxley's the clear babyface. This time, this is for the World Championship. And then at that time, it would be time for Jon Moxley to hand that title over to Kenny Omega. And then at Double or Nothing 2021, you get the match we have all been waiting for. Kenny Omega versus Adam Hangman Page for the AEW World Championship. And Adam Page gets his crowning moment. He gets his big babyface moment in front of a full audience, hopefully, and becomes the AEW World Champion. I think that's the route they're going. Quite frankly, if MJF wins, who do they have lined up for him? The only guy I can think of is Orange Cassidy. And Orange Cassidy's not going to beat MJF. And with Moxley, you got this storyline with Kenny Omega heel Kenny Omega waiting for you. It just writes itself. It writes itself at the end of the day. And that's what I think is going to happen. MJF will undoubtedly be a world champion. MJF is one of the most talented individuals in the world. He is arguably the best heel in the world. I think he's the best heel in the world right now. But MJF's time is not right now. Or his time is right now. But with all these plans going on, and what makes sense and what doesn't make sense, I think it makes more sense for Moxley to keep the title for a few months and then drop it to Kenny Omega. So I'm going with Moxley to retain the world title over MJF. And ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up the AEW All Out 2020 preview and predictions. I want to thank you guys for watching this video. I can't stress this enough. If you have not already, man, hit that damn subscribe button. You better hit that damn subscribe button if you have not already. Goddamn 3 subscribers away from 200 subscribers. Tell a friend to subscribe to Big Fight Fuel. Tell your cousin to subscribe to Big Fight Fuel. I don't care. We're just 3 subs away from the 200. And I want to get to that before Saturday. So let's get that up. the 200 subs. We're at 197. I want to hit 200 by All Out. Comment down below. I want to know your predictions for Saturday's All Out pay-per-view. I want to know your prediction for every single match. So leave that in the comments below. Hit that like button if you like what I had to say about All Out on Saturday. And then follow me on Twitter at Colin_Joseph. I will be back here tomorrow with a double upload. We will do a news video. It'll be up around 11 a.m. tomorrow. So look out for that. Have a good night and stay safe.